It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. Know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out, episode 411. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe.
Isn't that a band name?
I think you're thinking of 311.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The 90s.
Oh, maybe you're thinking of Blink 411.
Maybe no, that's 998. I was like the emergency number in London, or in the UK, but that's 999.
Yeah, it's 999.
So I don't know, 411? That's a thing. That's an information.
That's how you get information.
In America.
The kids used to say, what's the 411?
Yeah. Okay, well, I knew it was a thing. I just had no idea what that thing was.
It's episode star 69.
Remember star 67?
What was that one?
I don't know.
I thought that was...
One of them was like caller ID. One of them was call the last person who called.
I think star 69 would call somebody back.
Okay.
Would call the last person back.
And then there was star 72 also, but I don't remember what that did either.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Like young people, if we actually had young people that listen to this podcast, they would be like, what are you talking about?
What is going on? Remember...
this is like Morse code.
Yes, we are going to do the rest of the episode entirely in Morse code. We just told you an instructor quit, but you have to know Morse code to figure out which one. So remember the...
if you guess right, we'll send you...
we'll send you some parsnip seeds. Remember what everything was like 10-10 something to get cheaper long distance?
Yes.
It's like 10-10 to 20, 10 to
That was around the time that like Sprint
15.
had calling cards and all that stuff. Yes.
And it was like dial these digits first.
Yes.
And
that would be the cheapest long distance that you could get.
It would like bust you out of your built-in long distance.
Instead of being like 25 cents or 10 cents a minute, it'd be like 3 cents a minute. Yeah. That was a big savings back then.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Had to wait until after 7 to call people because it was free.
When I first moved to St. Louis, I had this cell phone that was about this tall.
Like Zach Morris's cell phone?
Yeah, I didn't have a bag, so it was slightly smaller than that.
Right.
But it was...
because it was a girl cell phone.
It was literally like a brick. Like it was so ginormous. And back then... we found, because I was moving from mid-Missouri to St. Louis.
Right.
That's a long distance. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the best way for me to still be able to talk to my family for free was to take that cell phone and take my apartment landline, forward it to my cell phone, and then I could use that to call them, and they could call my cell phone, and I could pick it up on my apartment landline.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I could talk on a landline for as long as I wanted.
Man,
I know.
You see the strings that control the system.
It was pretty intense for its time. Like that was a big deal because I did talk to my mom all the time.
If the internet existed, that would be a life hack.
Yeah. Well, we did have the internet, but it was still Hotmail world. It's Crystal Sunset.
I like to think you're
still
Hotmail. Living in Hotmail world. I guess we see what you think of me, even after all my tunneling.
That email address got hacked many, many years ago. I have not owned that Hotmail account for years. So
don't try is what you're telling people.
People can try, but it's going nowhere.
Be talking to...
I have no idea.
Yeah, someone
Russian
in Nigeria.
Bots. Yeah, I don't know.
A Chechen hooker.
Who knows?
Yeah. So let's just do some house cleaning stuff here at the top. We'll start with...
You never turned the timer on.
Oh, I forgot to turn the timer on.
We've already been talking for 3 minutes and 49 seconds.
Okay. I will add 4 to that for the rest of the time. So let's start with an update on...
Tina and Mason?
Tina and Mason.
Okay. Well, this was super exciting because Tina and Mason Tina contacted me. Me and Mason aren't on like a first name basis, but I feel like I am. But Tina contacted me and let me know that...
If he's like most teenagers, he probably doesn't even realize his mother owns a Peloton.
I mean, that's fair. But Mason got to go to prom with his friends, and they had just a lovely time, and it was like really touch and go because he was so tired.
Yeah.
And he got to go, and he had a great time.
That's awesome.
I just thought that was so exciting.
Yeah.
And we've almost raised $15,000.
Oh, that's great.
People are so generous, and I appreciate it. The GoFundMe is out there in all the places, my Instagram, the Facebook, but if you can spare and you haven't donated, please do. And if you have, or you don't have the means, if you could just share it, that would be awesome.
For sure. We should also talk about, last week we talked about the entertainment tab.
Yes. Okay, so I had said last week that the entertainment tab update, I thought it was still in beta because some people didn't have everything. And this wonderful person contacted me and reminded me that they had talked to support and that their bike only has Netflix, but their Tread Plus has everything. And that's because her bike monitor is too old, and she would have to actually update that monitor to get all of the entertainment options on her bike like she has on the Tread Plus.
Gotcha.
One of our other listeners mentioned, so this person has a monitor from 2017. One of our listeners from 2018 is now reporting the same issue, but all the entertainment stuff was there up until this week. So we don't know if it's the same issue or if it's a different issue. Perhaps it's like aged out now.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's just like it all needs to be reset and she needs to factory reset. She's still investigating. More to come on that.
So if you have the older monitor, all you're going to get is like the WB.
Well, you will get Netflix.
And the Dumont network.
And if your monitor's really old, it's a brick and doesn't do anything anymore.
Yes. And finally,
yes,
in our house cleaning segment, you want to talk about interviews.
Oh, yes, I did. Thank you so much. I've been
That's what I'm here for.
Bring this up for
I'm
weeks.
basically the project manager of the show.
Oh, wow. So we have been trying out for a little over a month now, not including interviews on our episodes. It might be longer than a month, might have been 2 months. But regardless, the reason why some people are on the Facebook group or in the Facebook group, they know because we've talked about it, but some people have asked why, because they're not on Facebook. And the short answer is two-prong. With me starting my new job, my time has decreased that I have to put forth to the podcast. And also, simultaneous to that, at the same time, Peloton members in general seem to have evolved. Like people who used to be super, super, super into it, they have kind of moved on to other things. They still do Peloton, but they're not necessarily as into it as they used to be. And kind of the new wave coming in appears to be more like, oh, I like knowing about it, but they don't want to sit here and listen to Tom and I ramble on for an hour and a half to 2 hours about it. So our thought process was, if we have shorter episodes, more people would listen to the end of those episodes. And because of that, more people would listen to the episodes because they wouldn't be scared off by an hour and a half runtime. So that we have changed up not having Angelo on, not having Dr. Jen on, no longer having interviews, all for that reason. But for those of you who are like, oh, I want to still have the interviews. Tom and I were talking about this, and we are open to, like, if somebody wants to help us, like as a volunteer position, help us set up those interviews, like find great people. I would totally be down for still doing interviews, and maybe we could do it like maybe once a month instead of every week or something like that, to not impose on anybody else that much. And also, part of one of these changes is going to be that I'm going to go back to editing the show. And so I also want to keep my editing time down as well, and my time spent interviewing, because I know it doesn't seem like that much, but
it's
like,
a lot.
It's a lot between the scheduling the interview, putting the questions together for the interview, and then
doing the interview, and then editing the interview. And if, like, God forbid, something goes wrong, like technology doesn't work, or somebody's got to change something, we got to reschedule and start all over. So it's a lot. But like, if somebody's into that and wants to reach out to me, feel free to send an email to clipoutcrystal@gmail.com. Not the Hotmail one?
No.
Okay.
And love to have that conversation. I'm totally open to that, and I think that would be fun.
Awesome. Well, now that the house is thoroughly cleaned, What, pray tell, do you have in store for people this week?
Nothing. No, I'm
Okay.
just kidding.
Keep peddling.
We're going to talk about Peloton's latest marketing push. We're going to talk about leaderboard changes.
Oof.
We're going to talk about these new issues Peloton is having connecting to Strava. We are also going to talk about instructors in the news, what's going on with Susie, what's going on with Andy Speer, Aditi Shah, Emma Lovewell, Katie Wong, and Becs Gentry. Not to mention the artist series of the week. We've got some content to go over, including the TCO top 5. We've got new class types that dropped this week as well. We've got an update on what to expect as a culmination of the Power Zone program.
Okay.
And we are going to talk about birthdays as well.
Awesome. Well, before we get to all that shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you are there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. Super helpful. You can also find us over on Patreon, patreon.com/theclipout. Now, if you're like, what is Patreon? Well, it's like a way to support the show. I mean, if you're listening, you're already supporting the show. But if you would like to support it with money, we would like you to. It's only $5 a month. It's not a ton of money. It's $5 a month. And what you get for that is if we get an episode early, you get it early. So typically, don't want to jinx this, but you're getting it Thursday, late morning.
Starting next week, it's going to be a whole new ballgame.
Yeah. We don't know if that'll be good or bad, but it'll be new.
Will be new.
But if we get it early, you get it early. And then also the episodes are ad free.
Yep.
And in addition to that, you get an additional episode every week of stuff that we didn't have time to get to in our new format. So that lives over on the Patreon, where you just get all the extra stuff and behind the scenes info and things like that. So, and it's just we think a relatively inexpensive way to support the show. If you got $5 you want to throw at us.
No tariffs.
No tariffs.
No inflation.
Yes.
So,
well, let's say not to say no inflation. We might raise it one day.
Well, not currently. No inflation.
Don't paint us into a corner. And then also, of course, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group. Don't forget, you can watch all of these over at YouTube, youtube.com/theclipout. And of course, sign up for our newsletter at theclipout.com. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
So Peloton recently pushed out the latest installment of their Find Your Push, Find Your Power marketing campaign.
You didn't talk about what was on the Patreon this week.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, well, I'll just say that right here.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Tonal, a new position they're hiring for.
It's very exciting what it means.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
And Robin Arzon teaming up with the New York Times.
Yes.
And Tunde is taking an unexpected break from Peloton, whatever could that mean. That's over at the Patreon episode this week. Okay.
Back to Find Your Push, Find Your Power.
We now join the clip out already in progress. I just said something very funny. That's why she was laughing. But it got cut out because we were in progress. Oh, you probably missed the funniest thing I ever said.
Oh, my God.
So, find your push, find your power.
Okay. So just to kind of recap, this Peloton has been slowly rolling out every few months a new episode, a new installment of this, and it's all about like your why to exercise. And we just wanted to raise awareness that number 3 installment has come out, talking about the powers of a breakup, powers of your why, and what is happening.
Yeah, and it got featured on a marketing website called Band.
Yes, Band.
BANDT.
And it's in Australia, so
maybe that makes sense to them.
Probably, I would say that it does.
Throw another Bant on the Barbie.
You never know.
The Bant ate my dingo. Something like that. But no, it's a nice article just about the marketing expertise.
Yeah, just the marketing aspects of it, and what Peloton's been up to, a little bit of that timeline with the whole marketing scheme. So it's cool.
Yeah. So the Peloton Tread, and I'm assuming this is Tread and Tread Plus.
Yes, it is Tread and Tread Plus. But to our knowledge, no other equipment at this time.
At this time, asterisk.
Yes.
Has made some changes in how you can organize the leaderboard.
Correct. Yeah. So this is very different for Peloton. So since the beginning of Peloton's existence, starting with the bike, it has always had a leaderboard based on output. Now, you might agree or disagree whether or not that output was accurate, but it has always been output. Okay.
Yeah.
And so for the very first time, Peloton has given people the option on the Tread/Tread Plus that now you can see your leaderboard position based on distance. So in the past, output would be like, if you're talking about, let's just keep it at the Tread to keep it simple.
Okay. Please keep it simple for me if there is math.
For the leaderboard, we are going to be seeing a mixture of your output based on how much incline you have and the speed you have.
Okay.
So let's say you and I are on treadmills next to each other and we're walking. Don't worry, we're walking. Okay. You can walk on a treadmill.
Well, make sure everybody knows this is hypothetical.
It is hypothetical. And let's say that we are both at 0 incline.
Okay. That's how I like it.
But I am going a lot faster than you.
What?
Yeah. I mean, because you only like to walk. So, and I'm a slow runner, but it's still slightly faster than your walk. It's my example. So I get to make it happen. So if we were doing output just based on that, then I would be slightly ahead of you.
Okay.
Right? Okay. But then let's say you change nothing, but then I put it on a 4% incline.
Okay.
And now I slow down, way down, because I'm the 4% incline. I can't run up that hill very long.
Right.
So now
You're
I'm going.
no Kate Bush.
I'm not going fast anymore. And let's say we just do that for like an hour. Well, if I were to switch it, now I could see I am probably still ahead on output.
Right.
But if we look at distance, now
I've gone farther.
You are ahead. And so now I can see either view on the Tread and the Tread Plus. And still rolling out. I don't know if this is a beta because not everybody has this who has a treadmill. So I don't know if A, it's rolling out, B, it's a beta test they haven't told us about. Who knows?
Right.
There's absolutely zero communication coming from Peloton these days. So I have no idea. But I think my gut tells me this is going to be rolling out to everybody and potentially, I hope, more equipment. I don't know really why people would be really excited about this, though. I mean, I just like new features, so I'm excited for that reason. But beyond that, I don't really care because I'm always at the bottom of the leaderboard on the Tread anyway, and it's not going to change just because it's by distance. I promise you.
So maybe it helps. This is going to sound weird. It's almost like watering down your own currency. Like if you can start to configure the leaderboard in multiple ways, it disincentivizes people who jack their bikes because what do you jack it for distance or do you jack it for output?
Yeah, well, that's a great point. But I would argue that on the bike, especially the bike, you can just, like, if you already jacked your bike, part of the problem with it is that it's going to, like, show, like, if you had my bike next to a jack bike and we both had it on 40 resistance, they're going to be pedaling at a much easier, like, it's going to be much easier to do 40 than it is for me. And therefore, I'm not going to be able to go as fast. Therefore, I can't go as far in the same amount of time as they can.
So you'd win either way with the jack bike.
Exactly.
Yeah. But also maybe just having multiple ways to compare, like it starts to like people start to peel off into these different tributaries where, you know, the guy with the jack bike, because it's going to be a guy.
Oh, it's definitely guys. I can think of several.
But the guy with the jack bike now is like he can only be on one, and and maybe there's a third thing that they add at some point, and you just start to have these people in these different worlds more concerned about one than the other, and it kind of lessens the apples to apples on leaderboard placement because there are so many different permutations of leaderboards.
I mean, I think that is a very well thought out argument, especially given that is what's happened over time with all the different ways that you can Peloton. So like some people, like just people within our our helper B group.
Yeah.
We have some people super into Power Zone. We have some people that run and don't hardly do any Power Zone or any bike even. I'm one of those people. Right. And then you have some people that are like never do Power Zone and never run. And then you have people that are like, I only do lifting. So like there's all kinds of ways to already split it out.
I mean, remember years and years ago when this all started, people counted how many classes they took.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then but that back then classes were all like 45 minutes.
All were 45.
And once they started coming out with different length of classes, well, that just kind of collapsed.
They still do shout outs, and it's kind of comical because now it's like when I'm on a run, it's like 7,000 runs, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Sure you did.
I mean, they may have, but maybe they were
Unless the next words out of your mouth are CJ Albertson.
No, that's not true, because there are a lot of people that will do several 5-minute runs, and maybe that's all they're capable of doing. I don't know what their situation is, but there are people that have only been in the Peloton world for like 2 years, and those people I give some major side eye to, because I'm just like, how did you do that in such a short time? That something is not adding up.
Maybe the distance
Something's
leaderboard.
hinky.
The distance leaderboard is all to tie in to Stephen King's The Long Walk in theaters this September.
Well, that makes sure that I don't know about Stephen King, but I will say maybe with the different leaderboard, it will help people. Instead of always focusing on how many rides they have, now they can focus on how many miles they have easily. But you could always look at it, but maybe it's easier to do. So
perhaps.
I don't know.
Taking a look at technical issues this week, Peloton was having issues connecting to Strava, which is probably traumatic for many people.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not on Strava, did it happen?
None of it happened.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
You'll probably end up like gaining weight.
The good news is that if you can connect to Strava directly or the web as a workaround, you're good. It's just you can't go through the Peloton device.
Gotcha.
So you can still get there. You can't log into Strava through Peloton, but you can still log into Strava through other ways. So all is not lost.
Okay.
Phew.
Thank goodness.
Indeed.
And coming up after this, we're going to take a look at instructors in the news, tell you who at Peloton, which instructor got a new job title, and what that means, who won an award, and where you can meet Andy Speer. So stick around.
Instructors in the news.
Susie Chan has taken on a new role at Peloton.
She has. She announced on LinkedIn this week that she is starting a new position as a training specialist for the UK Instructors and Tread Global. And that's a big deal because that means that she is specifically working on training. It also could signal that there are new instructors coming down the pipe, either for the tread or just in general, because everyone else should be trained, right?
Yeah. So either new instructors or people taking on new modalities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But besides somebody, it's not like somebody needs a new training on how to run. Now, you could also say that they are learning new things and then they roll that out to everybody. That could be a new reason. So there are multiple possibilities. But I will say this, most of the instructors, when they get a title change, do not post it on LinkedIn. So I think that she's excited about it.
Yeah.
And I think there could be a reason why.
So do you think that means that if there are new instructors in our future, they're going to be on that side of the
I think at least it says global. So to me, the fact that it says global means that we might be seeing the ramp up of other countries being added.
That was going to be my next question.
But I don't know, because at the same time, there's a lot of indicators that they're shrinking things. So, but maybe they're doing that because they're also trying to grow at the same time. So, I mean, I don't know. And I should preface all of this by saying, tomorrow is the earnings call, and we won't have it. I don't think we're going to do another segment for the show, so I don't think people are going to have our take on it, but we might learn more during that earnings call. So look for an article to come out from the Clip Out about that, because if they do talk about any kind of hiring or not hiring,
Right.
we will definitely be sure to include that in our article.
And speaking of Susie, her book was up for an award.
Yes, it was the Sports Performance Book of the Year.
And it won it.
She won. I mean, that
won.
is so exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so cool. And she said a big thank you to everyone who took the time to vote for her. And of course, we voted for her. So
Oh, did we?
we did.
Okay.
I mean, this household voted for her. Several of the helper bees and tipsters did as well. I mean, we all just are huge supporters
Yeah,
of Susie. And that's a
absolutely.
great book. It's a great book. My favorite out of all the instructor books.
If you would like to meet Andy Speer, hopefully you're Canadian.
Well, or that you're going to be visiting Ontario,
Yes.
because that is where you can see him. One of the cool things to note about this is the first event at this store. This is the Sherway Gardens. I'm sorry, I said Ontario. I meant Toronto. I'm
Oops.
sorry.
Whoops.
I am really bad with things like that. But Sherway Gardens, it's at Toronto, and in Toronto at the West Mall. And he will be there May 20th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Okay. And remember, if you're American, it costs 50% more.
I wonder if they had to pay a tariff fee to ship Andy over there.
So there is a special Asian and Pacific Islanders History Month,
Heritage Month.
event coming up, and it features Aditi Shah, Emma Lovewell, and Katie Wong.
It does. It's this Friday on May 10th at 6 p.m. and it will be at PSNY, and it's going to be a fireside chat with all three. There's going to be light food and beverage by local API-owned businesses, and there will be a photo opportunity with all three instructors.
Cool.
And there's a limit of 2 tickets per purchase.
Fun.
It is fun. That's really cool.
Becs Gentry was interviewed by The Cut.
She was, and it's all about her brand new interview series that she has out with Nike.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
It's called Comfort Zones, if people don't remember. And she then talked to The Cut about it, and it was just like a fun interview, kind of going through like what inspired it. She also talked about that it's kind of sponsored by Nike Vomero 18, ushering in maximum cushioning, the kind that can inspire a tired runner to push their limits.
Use promo code BECS at checkout.
Don't, because it won't work.
Yes. I mean, you can use it, but don't expect anything.
And she also talks about how she felt when she was starting off as a runner compared to like when she did the Olympic marathon trials, and what running starting from scratch looked like for her back at the very, very beginning. She also talks about intrusive thoughts and running as a release, mental release. So there's a lot of really good tips in here from Becs.
That sounds like a very lengthy article.
It's good size. Yeah. It's definitely not like 2 paragraphs.
Right.
Like it's good.
Peloton artist collaborations.
The latest artist series features Teddy Swims.
Time for me to feel old again.
I know.
Because I don't know who this is. Do you know anything about Teddy Swims?
I only know that his name is a sentence.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a noun and a verb.
Yeah, Teddy Swims.
That's all I got too. I don't know anything about him. I'll tell you, though, that guy that was on Saturday Night Live this past weekend, loved him.
I already forgot his name, though.
Me too.
It was like Benny Benson or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, that was great.
But he was... I was just like, what is this dude?
Yeah. He like totally gave me David Bowie vibes.
Really?
Like modern.
Yeah.
Like if David Bowie were coming onto the scene now without makeup, that's the vibe I was getting.
See, just looking at the picture with the hair and the mustache, I thought it was going to be like country.
I can see that. I can understand that too. Yeah.
But he was really, that's the first time in a long time we haven't ended up fast forwarding through the musical performance.
It is. And it has absolutely nothing to do with Teddy Swims.
It does not. But I bet you he's got an artist series in the not too distant future.
I hope that he does. But Teddy Swims, there's a ton of different classes that you can take for people that are younger than me or just in the know. They call him a soulful vocal powerhouse. He's chart-conquering hits of the Grammy, and he is Grammy nominated. He's got heartfelt ballads and captivating vocals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming up after this, we're going to dig into content, give you some suggestions on what you could be using on the Peloton platform to help narrow down your search. So stick around.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5. You have told us your favorite classes, and now we will repeat them.
Sure.
For the Peloton world writ large. Number 1, your favorite music-themed ride.
Part 1. You'll understand.
Part 1.
So this was taught by Christine D'Arcolay, and it was just taught this week on 5.5. It's 45-minute new wave ride. So a lot of people are aware Christine has been on a break because, the 12-week thing.
Sure.
And people were really anxious for her to come back. So Andrea Kirschenbaum recommended this ride. She sent me an email about it. So she was really into it because it takes a lot of effort to send an email versus hit and post on Facebook, for real.
Yeah, that's true.
And she said, I don't think words could do it justice. I am so excited that Christine is back. The playlist was amazing, but Christine's words of inspiration were even better. That's quite the nomination.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't think of a word. Perimenopause strikes again.
Number 2, your favorite row.
So this was taught by Alex Kay on May 3rd. It's a 20-minute endurance row. And Sarah Lester loved this row. She said that Alex focused on the class on what the word best means. And every song in the row has the word best in it. And it isn't just about working hard and training hard and becoming the best. This row looked at what best means from multiple angles.
Okay. Number 3, your favorite walk.
Okay, so this was taught by Marcel Dinkins. It was a 30-minute R&B walk from April 28th. Melissa McCalla recommended this ride. She said it had great music, and Marcel's vibe and energy make the class move along quickly.
Number 4, here it is, your favorite music-themed ride, Part 2.
Yes. Okay, so a lot of people came in with this nomination. I'm sure you're not surprised. It is the 45-minute classic rock ride taught by Jen Sherman on May 4th. And Nancy Nielsen was one of the first to nominate the ride, and she said the class had every classic, including Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, which Nancy pointed out has not been included in a playlist since 2019. That's shocking.
It's a long song.
It is a long song.
And I immediately
but it's freaking great.
I immediately went to look like, I hope this wasn't like a 30-minute ride. That'd be half the class.
Yeah, 45 minutes is a nice time for that. And it also had songs by Queen, Billy Joel, and, of course, Bruce Springsteen. Nancy said that this ride knocked it out of the park, and Catherine Kimes and Martin Steinberg also loved the playlist.
And finally, number 5, your Unstackable.
I love this nomination because it is from Tina herself, help her be Tina, and it was a 20-minute arms and shoulder strength taught by Olivia on April 29th. And I just have to read her brief couple sentences here. Mm-hmm. While everyone else was taking fun music themes, rides and runs and rows with deep musings, I was discovering that Olivia, while looking particularly sweet in her pastel outfit, managed to make my arms fall off even when I was using far lighter weights than normal. This class uses only light and medium dumbbells, and believe me, you'll be happy if you err on the lighter side of selecting them.
We will take a look at this week at Peloton. We have yoga drills.
Okay, so this one, there are 15-minute yoga drills, back bends with Kira. So on May 6th, this dropped, and Kira's session focuses on back bends, blending strength and flexibility to help open the heart and ground the mind.
Okay, and then we have 30-minute kettlebell strength with Jess Sims.
Yeah, this one's on demand starting on the 7th, and Jess Sims gives an empowering kettlebell workout that combines strength training with stress relief.
And then a 60-minute endurance run with Marcel Dinkins.
We don't get a lot of these, so this is exciting. So this is going to be taking place live on Sunday, May 11th, and Marcel is leading an endurance-focused run designed to build physical stamina and mental resilience.
It is Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and Peloton is celebrating it.
Yeah, they're going to be adding classes each week. So right now we only have a specific week 1 classes. It's going to be 20-minute API hits Pilates with Aditi. So like API hits music.
Gotcha.
And it's Pilates with Aditi. Woo. And then there's a 20-minute...
Well, that's important to specify because it could also be HIIT.
I know, and
Yeah.
I didn't want you to be hitting hills,
I don't want that to happen again.
Well, especially in Pilates. I don't even know how that would happen in Pilates, but I just felt like we should spell it out.
Yes.
Also, there's going to be a 20-minute Bollywood outdoor run with Jess King. That's going to be on May 7th. And then there's going to be a 15-minute K-pop upper body strength with Asal. That's going to be in German. And that's going to be premiering on May 8th. And then a 15-minute API hits music row with Adrian, and that's going to be live on Saturday, May 10th.
It is also Mental Health Awareness Month, and don't worry, don't have any anxiety. Peloton's got you covered.
Yeah. So there are some fresh classes coming out. They've been putting out classes since 2021. There's going to be a 30-minute mental health awareness ride that was on May 4th with Allie. There was a 10-minute awareness stretch with Rebecca on demand on May 5th. There was a 10-minute mental health month of meditation with Nico on May 5th. Also, another meditation with Aditi on May 6th, a ride with Bradley on May 6th, an outdoor walk with Kirsten on May 8th, and a walk plus run with Jeffrey and German on Sunday, May 11th.
And Hannah Frankson is debuting a new class type.
She sure is, and people are excited about it. Now, one of the things that I feel like I specifically have to say to you, Tom.
Uh-oh. What did I do?
So the name of this class is called a 30-minute progressive push. Why does that matter? Because Hannah's signature phrase is push, push.
Okay.
And in fact, her group's name is called the Push, Push Crew. So for it to be progressive push is kind of a signature class, and people are very excited about it. It also indicates that it is going to be a progressive where it starts kind of low and then it keeps getting harder and harder throughout. When you're doing that for 30 minutes on a bike, that can be intense and involved for people. They're like, oh, is this going to be like a power zone kind of thing where you do an FTP test and you get harder and harder through it? I don't know, but they do have progression runs on the tread. We're wondering if it's going to be similar to that. And if it is, they start you out very realistically and, underestimate where you need to start. You can always change later on. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. And they start Encore May 7th. So it'll be out when you hear this episode.
And an eagle-eyed listener was checking out Boost Your Base and scrolled ahead in the calendar and found out some interesting information.
This actually came from one of our helper bees. This was helper bee Elizabeth.
Okay, so not a listener.
Well, you couldn't see that. You couldn't see where it came from in your defense. But
and Lord knows I need one.
She said that someone shared in the group chat that they looked way ahead in the schedule, and it seems the culmination of Boost Your Base is not only a 90-minute ride. We already knew that part.
Okay.
But it's going to be a 2-for-1 with Matt and Dennis.
Oh.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah, give people something to look forward to.
Absolutely. Especially with all this endurance, because people have mixed feelings about all that endurance.
Callie Gullickson has a new program on Strength Plus for you.
She does, yes. Grit and Glutes. It's going to be a 2-week Strength Plus program, and it's going to help you increase your endurance and focus on lower body heavy lifts. And I always have somebody reach out to me and say, why can't I find these? Keep in mind, this is only available on iOS devices, and it's only available in America for now.
Bradley Rose has a special Pride class for people.
Yeah, people got invited to this. It was it's obviously in the UK because it's Bradley Rose.
Right.
And it is going to be on the dance floor ride with Bradley Rose in honor and celebration of Pride Month. And it's going to take place Saturday, June 14th at noon Eastern, 30-minute ride. How fun.
And finally, we have meditation programs now available in Spanish and German.
Yeah, and the programs were each 7 days long, and they have now kind of, what's the word, dubbed over them to make them available in Spanish and German. So that's great.
Peloton Birthdays.
And we have 2 birthdays coming up next week.
2?
2.
Ooh.
The first is Susie Chan.
Woo!
on May 10th.
And it's her 50th birthday. It is a milestone she is celebrating. Don't forget, 100 miles in May if you want to join in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
And we should say she broadcast her age.
Broadcast her age, and
not-
that it's a milestone.
Yeah.
She's excited about it, and she is celebrating with 100 miles in May.
Well, good for her. And I guess we can also reveal the age of the next one.
Oh my goodness. Tell him.
It's 8.
8?
8 is the next age for us, the Clip Out.
Yeah. That is the 8th anniversary of the very first episode that ever aired.
Yeah.
411 episodes ago. That's
Well, I
crazy.
guess 410 because this
Okay.
is 411.
That's true. Yeah.
But 8 years of this. Holy cow.
I know. And people are like, why do you want to spend less time on it? 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that.
It's
and
almost lasted longer than our first marriage.
It's getting there. Actually, it has lasted longer than my first marriage. Not my first marriage relationship,
Well, right.
but first marriage.
Yeah, you
yes.
don't get married on the first date.
No,
Yeah.
but we dated a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, happy birthday to us.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it for this one. Until next time, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal O'Keefe. They can also find me on Blue Sky and Threads and Instagram, and of course, the Peloton Leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the group, join the page. No, the other way around.
Like the page,
Yeah.
join the group.
Do that. Be different. Make your own rules. Yeah. And also don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/The Clip Out. $5 a month. You get early episodes, you get ad-free episodes, and you get all sorts of bonus content. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep pedaling
And running.
and rowing.
Bye.
Clip in, set yourself